Hi guys, as you know, I'm not a professional photographer and I'm not really an expert in cameras. But since I started the YouTube channel last year, I got quite interested in photography and cameras, and I guess you need some of those things, but then you get carried away sometimes. Anyway, you must be wondering, why am I holding a Moncler bag instead of a Moncler jacket in my hand when I'm supposed to be talking about the Leica Q2? I thought I'd quickly show you how I got to the Leica cameras. Now, for me, because I'm not a professional photographer, a camera is not just a camera. It's supposed to be a tool that is very easy to use, and it's also a bit of a fashion accessory. When I saw this camera, this is the Leica X Moncler edition. I saw it in a shop and I just fell in love with it, and I thought I have to have it. And it's an amazing camera, but I have to say I haven't used it as much as I should have, because it's such a beautiful thing, and I just kept it in a box for that special occasion when I will use it, instead of just carrying it around with me all the time. So it's almost as good as new. I think I maybe used it about 5-6 times. For everyday use, I bought a Leica Deluxe, which is the one that I'm filming on right now, because it does everything that you expect a decent camera to do, and it's really, really good. Very small, and it's about 850 pounds. This was nearly 2,000. So and it's also a limited edition, because like this one is 530 of the 1,500 they made. So I thought I should keep this for a special occasion, but unfortunately I haven't used it. I should have, and I know it's wrong, but I've been hoarding this. I might sell it on eBay or something now, because I have the Leica Q2. So without a further ado, I will show you my new toy. So here it is, the typical Leica fashion. The box opens like that, and then you have these little trays. This one has all the power supplies and cables and battery and everything in this, and then this one has the instruction manual and Lightroom and other things that they give you as part of the Leica purchase. If you think this box is fancy, you should have a look at the other video I made about the Leica X, the Moncler edition. That box is just super fancy. So simple box, camera. Let's put the boxes away, and then we can quickly talk about the camera. It's quite fancy the way they've designed this, but it's also been around for a long time. So as you know, I had a Leica Q before the Q2, and once I bought the Leica Q, I think my photography, my filming, video making, it just went to another level. And as an amateur who knows nothing about photography or filming or anything, I want to emphasize that this isn't a video that is talking about how to use cameras and what the features and functions are, because there are tons and tons of videos out there that you can watch made by experts who will tell you what these cameras are capable of. I'm going to talk to you about why I own this camera and why I think Leica is, for me and for many other people, an accessory. It's a lifestyle brand. It's something that makes amateur photographers do amazing jobs. A lot of you are going to say, oh, he has more money than sense, and this is stupid, and why you're wasting your money. And to be honest, there are people who have different types of lifestyles, and I don't spend my money going out drinking a lot or having expensive holidays and things like that. I like certain things and I spend my money on that. So I had the Leica Q, which I absolutely loved because it made me a better photographer. just by leaving everything on auto or doing a few aperture or shutter speed or other little macro settings and things, it just made my pictures look so much better than I could do. I had Canons and Sonys and Panasonics and all kinds of cameras, and they're just far too complex. These cameras are simple and they have such amazing lenses that the job that they do is so much better than any other camera I have personally owned. Now, the most important thing I should tell you, that for me, which is very exciting and important, is this is the first camera that was sold in the UK to someone on the day it was announced. So, being a big Leica fan, I had called up all the Leica stores and put my name down to get this when it was released, because I had held this in my hand long before it was released when I went to talk to Leica about the app that they have produced called Leica Photos, which will be released in April. And we talked about how I use the remote control and how I use the various features of the Leica Q app, the image shuttle app, and now the Leica Photos. Even now, I have this iPad on the side, which is remotely connected through Wi-Fi to this Leica Deluxe, and I can see a live feed of myself. I can control various settings and things. I can do focus, white balance, all kinds of stuff. So, and the same thing with the Leica Q. I loved having that remote control feature. So I went and talked to them, and then one of the product managers showed me this camera, but obviously it was under embargo and things, and I didn't even have a video or anything, so I did talk about it. Anyhow, I put my name down, and the day that it was announced, first thing in the morning, one of the stores in the city of London where I buy quite a lot of my equipment from called me and said, "We have a camera, would you want it?" And I'm like, "Yes, I'm coming now." So I drove straight there and picked this baby up. It's exactly the same as the previous Leica Q, minus the little connection port. I think it was on the right hand side where you could open a little side hole, and there was I think a USB or an HDMI port in there, which I never use, so I won't even miss it. The other difference is the other one had a single and a continuous shot control in this. Now this is just on and off, which is great, because I used to end up having to really pay attention and sometimes put it onto continuous rather than single shot. On the back, it has 3 buttons instead of the 4 or 5. I think this one has 4. So again, much more simplified, very, very nice. This one is a 46.7 megapixel. So what that means for a layman like me is that I can take a picture from a distance and then zoom in and take a subset of that picture, and it will be high resolution instead of losing the image quality. This one does 4K 30, so 4K with 30p, so 30 frames a second or 24 frames a second, which is good enough, but it also does 1080 120, so you can do high definition at very high frame rate and then slow it down for slow motion. Again, those things are quite useful for my YouTube videos and my car videos. The thing is, this camera is not the lightest camera, and when you're walking around holding it like this and filming yourself, it's quite heavy. So I end up usually putting a little stick underneath it that goes into this socket and then hold it, but even still the camera is quite heavy. Nonetheless, I think it's one of the best cameras to have if you have the means, and if you can get one, I would highly recommend it. Now, this video is not sponsored by Leica or any other, anyone basically. I'm making this video because I absolutely love this brand and I love this camera. And to be honest, there's so many people out there who buy things, and I'm one of those suckers as well, because they look good and they do an amazing job and they're the best quality. So I buy Leicas because I've tried Canons and all the others. I'm not a professional photographer. I want something that's small, that's sleek, that looks good, has the right, like the touch and feel. You feel this is a solid, sturdy, nothing plasticky and awful about it. It's a lifestyle accessory, to be honest. I have to be so bold and open to say it that yes, I'm a sucker for good things and good brands, and if I want to be seen walking down the street looking like an idiot tourist holding a camera, I want to be holding one of these. And I think this is something that will appeal to many people out there who are like me, who are not professional photographers, who just want a nice camera that takes amazing pictures or videos and does things for them, but does it very simply without complicating your life and figuring out 20 controls that mean nothing and they have symbols. This is very, very simple, easy to use. One thing that I always do with my cameras is that you can't really see it, but on the inside, in front of the lens, I usually put a little glass lens protector thing. I don't know what it's called, but I use the B&W or one of the very good brands, because obviously the glass that you put in front of the lens will have its own refraction index, and that will change the way the light hits the sensor. So you don't want to damage the quality of your pictures by adding something that shouldn't be there really. This thing has a very nice lens protector. So if you bump your camera into something, it's going to protect the lens, but I still like to have it because this is a fixed lens. It can't be removed. If you damage it, you'll have to send it back to Leica for it to be repaired, and I'm sure it will cost a lot of money. It's better to just protect it. Some people say that if this thing cracks, it can scratch the lens behind it. I don't know. I mean, the world could end tomorrow. There's always something. So it's, I don't know, 15, 20 pounds for just peace of mind really. But otherwise, that's my little review on my new toy, and hopefully I will make more YouTube videos with this, and then the colors and the quality and everything will be amazing and you will all be very happy. But thanks for watching. Hope this was of some use. I'm sure there are plenty of other camera experts reviewing this camera, but I'm not a photographer, but I'm lucky enough to get one on the first day that it was released, in the first 3 hours. And I don't know, I'm just very flattered because the guy told me that I was the first guy in the UK to get my hands on one. And yeah, I just felt really good about it. And also that I was desperately waiting for it. So much so that I put my previous Leica Q on eBay and sold it in advance, because I thought the day this one is announced, the other one is going to drop in price tremendously, even though they didn't, because I think these cameras hold their value so much. But I sold it a few weeks ago, and I have a few other cameras, so I didn't really think I would miss it. But as soon as this was released, I got it. So anyway, thanks for watching once again, and see you soon.